Time to get a job, am I right? Oh, you do have a job. Time for the next challenge then. Either way, over the past 17 years in my career as a software engineer, I've had my fair share of job interviews. And I want to share with you my top tips for when you're thinking of making the switch to a better job. Now, even though I'm talking about software engineering jobs, you'll find that most of these tips apply to other jobs as well. My name is Christy, and I will give you my opinions on how to be smart and get a tech job in this day and age. Preparation. Make sure you have written a project from scratch before. If you worked on another job or project, but you were handed like smaller tasks, start a new project from scratch in your spare time. You should have deployed by now at least one project to production. This lets your employer know they can trust you to take the product live when necessary. If you feel you're not ready for that, you should consider an internship maybe. There's a lot to learn from internships, if you're willing to. This is a great starter for a small period of time if you're not confident enough. The most important thing you could learn is how things work inside a corporation, for example. Be honest with yourself about your skills, but don't stay away from projects or job descriptions that seem a bit far out of your league. Certain skills you can always learn if you're willing to. Figure out the salary you need in order to pay your expenses, loans, and so on, give you the ability to afford niceties and stuff you want, and overall make you happy and motivated once that paycheck comes in, and it's not just a means to pay the rent. I would always start higher than I expect to get so that I can have some wiggle room. Take the time to polish your skills. This might mean going to the documentation of your programming language again. Some things might have changed since the last time you read it. You can also get up to speed with some easy to medium difficulty algorithms. At least make sure you know the basics. And you will definitely get asked some questions about algorithms either way. Take the opportunity to learn a new SDK, for example, for which you didn't have time before. And I would say if you're thinking of changing your existing job, maybe start some of these processes before you actually quit. Oh yeah, and if you enjoyed my tips so far, hit that like button or let me know in the comments. Also, why not subscribe to my channel to get more content like this one? Moving on. Consider applying to multiple jobs, but be careful which ones you choose. You should always look for quality over quantity. If a company or project seems a bit fishy, maybe it's better to skip it. There will always be high demand for software engineers, so you'll definitely find the right job. Also, some interviews might take multiple rounds. I've had like 5-stage interviews multiple times. And at any time you might fail an interview step, so at least you have options. Now, even if you get accepted to multiple jobs, you can take your sweet time and pick the right job for you. It happened to me a couple of times. Tough choices needed to be made, but definitely worth having a plan B. Consider applying for a job at a startup company. The best jobs I had were while working on startup companies. Every single project was innovative and taught me a lot of new skills. You'll get more ownership of the project, more decisions you could take, move faster, learn more. And the projects you'll end up working on will give you the feeling that you're really making a difference. Now let's talk a bit about the application process. You should put your best effort in applying for the job. Be presentable, but I wouldn't go overboard with that. Be prepared, have a good resume, portfolio, be ready to discuss your projects. Be persistent, be ready to take ownership, and show that you are capable and responsible. Find some key aspects in your older job or older projects that highlight that you're willing to push for the project to succeed. Now, this doesn't mean that you like working extra hours or something. Instead, it means that if you agree to do a task in a certain timeline, you're willing to do whatever it takes to deliver it. Now, there are always delays and things that nobody thought of course, but you should aim to be known as the reliable person. And don't get discouraged if your application isn't picked up. Sometimes it's down to pure luck. Some other time the job might already be taken. What I used to do when failing interviews or not hearing back was to take the opportunity to learn some new stuff, or take some time to reset and refresh maybe, even to go find some freelance work with not a very long time commitment. Alright, your application got accepted and now you're up for the interview. Remember, you have a say in accepting the offer as much as they have a say on hiring you. Be curious and ask questions about things like the company and their culture, the project, the team you'll be working with, how are employee reviews handled, will your salary grow in time? If it's a startup company, negotiate the right balance for you between stock options and salary. Remember that even if you're not the right fit for this job, you'll gain more strength and experience. and you'll increase the chances to nail the next interview. Don't forget it's not only you that needs that job. These companies also need people like you. Nobody really has the upper hand here, so chin up and believe in yourself. If you're feeling anxious, you should talk to a friend or family if you can. Get some love and a boost of confidence. Well, what are you waiting for? Go out there and make me proud. And don't forget to tap that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's grow this channel together.